So start over with what you're saying. So you as a Gen Z,
even though I'm on the cusp of a Gen Alpha, I'm pretty close to being a Gen Alpha.
Yeah, you're right there.
You raised me correctly, so I'm intellectual enough, because there's kids young or older than me who still have an attention span of a Gen Alpha. It's just, it all starts, in my opinion, with the phone. You should get an, even, well, actually, no, because even though I had an iPad since I was, what, 4? 5? 5 is, but see, the thing is, that's 5. Some kids be having a phone since they're 3, bro. They just are given a phone. And it's honestly mainly, I would say, a thing with the parents. You can't give enough attention to your child in the real world, so you have to replace that with a phone, which is
that makes so much sense.
Online, which is why it's doom spiraling more and more as we go on into these just attention span of a kid being nothing, and you have to have a phone to constantly be giving dopamine hits, rather than, for me, I wasn't on my iPad all the time because you were still doing stuff to keep me happy. Yeah, taking me to the park, raising me correctly.
Basketball.
Like I said, there's still kids who are older than me and have the attention span of a squirrel, because it's like they literally, they just weren't given enough attention. I think it all starts with the way you were raised from ages, I think 3 through 7, because your brain is developing the most in that age. Same with all of your stuff. It's almost like it's still generating and developing.
Yeah.
And then once you go past that age, it kind of locks more in place. So all that information you have in stuff is more locked, which is why if you're organized ever since you're 5 through 7 and stuff, you're just gonna be organized forever. You're not.
But really, this whole conversation popped up, and I'm going to do a bigger video on my YouTube channel, guys, about this. It's talking about this meme generation, Gen Alpha, being addicted to shorts, specifically the skibbity toilet meme that goes around on YouTube Shorts primarily. And I'm going to go into a deep dive of what this is doing to our kids' brains. Why isn't anyone paying more attention to this? I mean, we blame gaming for everything, but gaming is barely a tip of the iceberg when it comes to actually the development of children's brains, and it really boils down to the freaking phone. Moms always say it's the phone, giving the kids the phone.
It technically is, but it's also the parents' fault.
But it's the parents' fault, but it's also this content, and I believe truly the short form content has been a true demise to our nation. It's broken down the way that kids learn. It's broken down how we evolve and how our brains actually take in information. One of the conversations I just had with my son just now is that adults who are Gen X like myself, or millennials like my sisters, when we watch shorts, we don't feel content after watching that. There's discontent. It's like, well, what the hell was that about? There's no context. What was this even about? What are we even talking about?
But that doesn't mean there's not millennials who still, there's people who I'm guessing probably are millennials and still doom scroll on TikTok.
Absolutely. I'm not saying there isn't. It's just that true intellectual people aren't going to watch that and say, this is how I want to take in information. We want more context.
The problem is, there's still so much of it being pushed out now that even though I don't really doom scroll ever. If I'm looking on shorts, I'll stop after maybe 5-10 minutes, right? And that's just a mind break basically for me. But there's still times where you can scroll for at least an hour or two, and it's not good. But it's because there's so much of that content now being pushed out on shorts. You can't get enough of it until it starts getting boring, and that's how you break.